Good Monday morning, everyone. Welcome back. You're watching the Kaiser Report. I'm John. I'm coming to you today to talk to you about a few things that took place over the weekend. And, of course, as you're all painfully aware, Florida was hit with Milton a few days ago, which caused devastating effects and tornadoes that have destroyed many, many homes, livelihoods, and businesses in the state of Florida. But I believe that they have a good handle on cleanup. They have a great governor that was well prepared and ready and waiting for Milton to hit. But it hit with a little more severity than anyone expected. And the drumming up of tornadoes that did the most devastating damage to homes there are being worked on and cleaned up. We have, of course, a vice president that wants to have an argument with that governor there, DeSantis, and because of phone calls and whatever, and now she is liking to take credit for helping out and getting assistance down there as quickly as they can, along with Joe showing up several days later and giving after he has toured the devastation, he goes to a podium and opens a book and reads a pre-printed speech most disingenuously to the suffering people of Florida after Hurricane Milton, and tells everybody down there what a wonderful job he's doing while his vice president is trying to pick a fight with the governor. You really can't make these things up. It's kind of amusing to a point to watch a stumblebum go out to a podium and give this great talk off of a piece of paper that someone else has written for him, because he hasn't had an original thought in about 30 years, to tell you the truth. But it was good to see that he could pull himself off of the beach chair up in Delaware to get down and take a first-hand look. And I guess it's his second trip there, is what he said. Well, whoop-de-doo, what did you do to help these people? In the meantime, over the weekend, Mayorkas comes out and says one more time that he needs more money, that they don't have any money left, and then backpedaled on it when they took him to a hearing where he did his usual, "I'll be pleased to give you that information when I have a better handle on it." The same thing he did with the Senate hearings, all while grinning maniacally at whoever's questioning him. This is the man, along with Kamala Harris, that wide opened our southern border and let millions and millions of people, unvetted, unknown, and transported them all over this country to different sanctuary cities and sanctuary states like Minnesota, Mr. Waltz, and used FEMA money to house these people and give them their little credit card and cell phone and work permits and whatever, along with paying sponsors for some of these people. And don't get me started on the waste of money that has been poured into protecting these illegal aliens that came to this country without proper channels and have been allowed to live a good life while our own homeless and veterans are living in tents in a street. They're in hotel rooms, paid for out of money that our Congress appropriated for different reasons. All while we have a running mate for Kamala Harris knucklehead Waltz goes out pheasant hunting and, well, has trouble loading his weapon, number one, and then tells everybody that he bought that rifle for when he used to be a skeet shooter and that he knows all about it. They're trying to man him up. And watch him load a gun. I'll show you this.
They're working. Those guys are ready to go.
Yes, that's my theory, and it never fits quite right. It never fits quite right. It's not quite right. How do you give it back?
Governor, what kind of gun is it?
This is a Beretta A400. I bought it when I was shooting a lot of trap.
Now, does that look like an accomplished gun owner to you? I don't think so. He does not feel comfortable around his weaponry. Even if it is his, we don't know, because he may be prone to telling a fib or two, which we now know. And then we have his running mate there, Kamala Harris, that was asked if she would do anything differently than she has in the last 4 years that she's been up there as number 2 to Biden. And she clearly stated no, she's not going to do anything differently. So what makes you think she's telling you the truth when she says she's going to do this and the other thing and fix this all on day one? Her day one has come and gone, and her hiding out from the media is a page right out of Joe Biden's book. You can't hide from your inadequacies any longer, Miss Harris. Take a look.
Here's the thing. It makes you wonder. Why does his staff want him to hide away?
Are you serious right now, bro?
You're projecting.
Drop it.
You drop it. You stop projecting on me.
It is outstanding at what's going on in this country today. It's like a page out of Stephen King's mind in a book where you can have a person holding a rally in a major blue state, and on the entry gates you have a car that is pulled over, a black SUV, with homemade license plates. And when the person was questioned, he was found with a weapon, a loaded handgun. Ooh. And when asked, can we search your car, he gave permission, and they came up with a shotgun, all kinds of ammunition, and multiple passports. Are you following this?
Let me think about that.
Because you can't make this up. He was arrested for possession of an illegal weapon, or several. possession of other people's passports or his own. We don't know because media doesn't tell us that. They don't even know his last name. Media can't tell you that.
What?
He's arrested, brought in, and released the same day on $5,000 bail because they weren't able to tie the crime into an attempted assassination, and they weren't able to tie the crime into a federal crime. Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't owning several passports with different names on them a federal crime? Oh, I believe it is. But again, we're dealing in California now where the criminal has the rights and the victim should suffer. And in this cases, in cases like this, he would have been a scant 100 yards away from Donald Trump, and another assassination attempt could have taken place. It certainly looks that way, but not to the California court system that is packed full of blue boys out to do anything to keep the Democratic power machine running in California. You really can't make these things up, folks. It's there. The news media, in the meantime, wants you to look over here, because over here is what's really happening, and that's none of your business, because you, the citizen, the taxpayer, we, the people, should never believe what we see or what we hear. Only what they tell you over here. And the media is complicit in this corrupt government that we have right now, that we're fighting to change, and we need to fight to change that through the electoral process and do it correctly. And if you have time and you can work your polls, make sure that we don't have these criminal illegals that are in this country illegally, no matter what Kamala Harris says. They entered here without doing the proper paperwork and being vetted properly. As we welcome people to come into this country that bring us something for society to gain from and to have a better life, but not emptying your jails out through our southern border, which is what's happening. And I don't care how many talking heads on media today want to make you believe different, like Morning Stupid there on MSNBC and his commie wife, Mika, who want to make you believe everything that is not happening. And what will happen that they're telling you is out and out lies. Donald Trump or anyone like him is not going to get into office and have a revenge fest. They have too much work to do to change this country back to the country that our founding fathers intended it to be. Pure and simple. And Kamala Harris, and it's been widely publicized by people who have worked with her. I watched a lawyer that was on with Tucker Carlson yesterday, and she'll tell you how Kamala got elected through the positions that she's held in California. And it was not a fair and balanced election in any way, shape, or form on her being a DA or attorney general or a senator. It was the Democratic election machine in California that saw to that, and that's the same bunch right now that is giving her a damn $1 billion to defeat the enemy as they see it. which I don't see it that way, and I hope you don't either. We need to look at track records that have been shown to us by both of their tenures in high government. As a VP in charge of the border, she has failed miserably. You don't fail up to the presidency of the United States. You can fail up to a lot of things, but that's not one where we can accept a fail-upper to take charge and have this world go into World War III. We're on the precipice of it right now, in case you haven't been paying attention. We have a lot of cleanup to do in this country that should be first and foremost, and yet we have people running around trying to get into an argument with a governor that did a magnificent job in preparation for what happened with Milton in Florida. We were caught with our pants down in western North Carolina, East Tennessee, and Georgia because no one in their wildest imagination ever in their lifetime would have expected what hit and the damage that was done in a few scant hours by a hurricane that started in the Gulf of Mexico and came to the mountains of western North Carolina and caused that kind of damage. Even Kaiser hears that. So with that, I don't know where we can go to help any more than we have, but watching neighbor help neighbor and watching people come from out of state in some cases to lend a hand, bring a chainsaw or a tractor to try to dig people out is a blessing. And we have to look at these people and say, that is an American hero right there. It isn't some football player. It's not some actor or actress with an opinion that no one cares about. These people genuinely care and worry about their neighbors, and they're helping wherever they can. And this is America. This is what America was made to be and what will be again. Because we'll help each other out on Election Day as well, because now the sheepskin has been pulled off the wolf and we see exactly what they're doing. It's out in the open now, and it's up to us as American citizens to pull the lever and make sure that this never happens again and does not continue to happen to our children and grandchildren.
Vice President Harris was asked this week on The View if she would have done anything differently than President Biden in the past 4 years. And she said,
There is not a thing that comes to mind.
so it makes me want to ask you, do you think that Biden's done everything right?
Well, look, I don't know if any of us do everything right, but I can tell you he's done everything in the best interest of the American public.
Meanwhile,
He's done everything in the best interest of the American public.
what the hell are you talking about?
For the sake of wokeness and the sake of the elites getting fatter and wealthier while you pay for it all. And with that, that's our Monday report from the Kaiser Report. Kaiser and I wish you the very best Monday. And until Tuesday's report, and that's tomorrow morning, we'll see you later. Bye-bye now. Stay safe.